Good evening. Happy Sunday, Disney creators on Distube. Bill Sr., Bill Jr., what's going on, my friends? Magic of the Mouse TV, Magic of the Mouse, this podcast, Bush League Baseball. You guys have any room on your dance card? My gosh, you guys are pretty busy. What's going on, you two? How's your Sunday going?
Not too bad. A lot better than it is for you two guys down in Texas.
Yeah, it's hot as heck. I went to Walmart earlier. It said it felt like 116. I was like, oh, you got to be kidding me. It was crazy.
Roasting. So Bill Jr., if you don't know, is a lot south, a couple 4 or 5 hours south of me. I'm up in Fort Worth. He's down south a little bit. And both of us are in the get me out of Texas for the next couple month weather. Bill Sr. just posted on Instagram, I'm at the ocean. I'm having a Dole Whip by the sea, feet up with palm trees, whatever. Making me feel a little bit jealous. Let's say hi to Jack.
It's the only time I like New Jersey's in the summertime.
I don't know if I've told you this. I probably have. My grandfather was from Jersey. I've only been to Jersey twice. Your Instagram New Jersey looks better than New Jersey that I saw. I'll just say it that way.
Yeah, well, you must have been from up North Jersey then.
Atlantic City one time, and then just across the river having some pizza with some friends when we were in New York City once. That's the only New Jersey I know. But yours looks quite a bit more tropical than I remember. Let's just leave it there.
Hey, we have Dole Whip now. All's good.
Yeah, I know. What the heck? I love it. All right, let's say hi to chat. Caitlin, Make It Blue in the house. What's going on? The Lynn Project in the house. What's going on? Part of Your World Adventures. What's going on? James Ryan in the house. Walter Grams. That's Dougie in the house. Keith, big Disney fan. Magic of the Mouse TV. I've heard of them. They're in the house. I'm not sure which one. It's one of these two. Maybe both. The Orlando guy in the house. What's going on? More popping in. Bloom and Cheese and going strong. Sure, Nut 60 going strong. A lot of people are probably still watching Pete McDevitt. If you're not watching him now, you should go watch the replay. Zippity Doodad, Patrick, my buddy, he's been his guest today. I don't know. Maybe they've ended. Maybe they're still going. I'm not really sure. But Pete's my friend. Patrick, my friend. I would say it's PG-13, but it's pretty fun stuff. And he goes an hour before me every Sunday. You should definitely make that part of your night. If you're here, I appreciate you. Disney Creators on Distube has been my thing for a while, and this is one of the reasons why I started this show. I got to be honest. I had no idea when I started the show that I would get to make friends and meet people that, there are 4 things in my life that I like most, right? My family, bacon, baseball, and Disney. And I could have put Dole Whip in there. Baseball and Disney. I've made friends like Bill and Bill here because of this community, and so this is going to be fun for me. I can honestly say these guys have become my friends over the last, 6 months, a year, whatever it's been. Bill Sr., Bill Jr., are you more baseball creators, Disney creators, and how did you guys come up with your podcast? Again, if you're just popping in, hey, Just Sampson, what's going on, my man? How are you doing? Hey, Mikey, what's going on? If you don't know yet, if you're just popping in, Magic of the Mouse TV is their channel, Magic of the Mouse, the podcast on Spotify. Let's start with that. How did you start your podcast? Whose idea was it? How did you do the father and son team go?
Well, it was my idea, and the main reason was, the guy down below there, he's down in Texas. I'm up in New Jersey. We don't get to see each other that often. We text a lot, but we don't talk a lot. And that was the main reason I started it.
I love that.
At least once a week, we could get together for an hour or two, recording the podcast. And we used to just record it over the phone. I would patch Bill into the board that we had. And after that, we wound up switching to a internet site, which was great, and then it turned out to be a not so good idea when the pandemic hit because the internet went bonkers.
Yeah. That
was the main reason I started it, and it was just we both love Disney, and it was just a way for us to get together once a week and BS and about Disney. And my cousin Tom was doing it with us, and also a lifelong friend of mine, Kurt, who I went all through grade school and high school with.
That's awesome. I just dropped the link. It's to the Spotify link. Obviously, you can get it everywhere where podcasts can be found. Bill Jr., I saw, was it a baseball or what did I see? So I typed you guys in today to see if I could find something I didn't already know. And you know what pops up when I type in your guys' name, because you have the same name, Junior and Senior, you playing ball. It's like your whole, it's like a scouting site. You were a stud, my man, clearly.
Yeah, thanks. That was probably from when I did the Under Armour All-American thing out in Arizona. That was a lot of fun.
I bet it was.
A lot of different baseball stuff. I only played 1 year junior college down in Daytona. That's kind of another main reason why I love Disney so much. I would just get bored when I was over there, wasn't playing ball or wasn't in school, and I'd drive over to downtown Disney in Disney Springs and I just have ice cream at Ghirardelli's and drive back. I was just kind
That's
of
a
bored.
good day right there. I love it.
Yeah.
Tell him the second reason that you would drive over there to do that was be able to take a picture of his hot fudge sundae or whatever he had and send it to me and rub it in.
Yeah, I'd send him pictures all the time.
I
He'd be like,
don't
yeah,
know
whatever.
if I've ever known a dad, well, especially the dad in this case, that is more obsessed with ice cream. Bill Jr., what is your dad's deal with ice cream?
I don't know. He just loves ice cream. It's always been his go-to. He used to drive to Dairy Queen or whatever all the time, especially after baseball games when I was a kid, and just chow down on ice cream. And he loves all kinds. He's not discriminate to any flavor of ice cream. He's a little partial to like creamsicle, but yeah.
The only one I don't like is Bill's favorite,
which is
mint chocolate chip. Yeah, he's not a fan of that one.
I feel like you went with the two flavors of ice cream. One I don't even consider ice cream. Dreamsicle. Does that even count? Those are like the two worst flavors. What are you talking about? I'm a chocolate with peanut butter guy. No?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's delicious.
There you go.
My favorite as far as Disney goes, and I tried to get you to do it, but you chickened out, was our little go-to around the Magic Kingdom there, the 4 stops. And
I was just going to mention, how did you find a way to sneak out of your challenge of me?
Come on.
Look at my abs and look at you. Who's going to win in an eating contest? It's not a whatever.
Ice cream?
Whatever. Well,
come on now.
maybe, yeah. You might have me there.
Come on. Start with the citrus swirl, then you go to the Dole Whip, and then you walk around the back, and anti-gravities. That's good over in Tomorrowland.
Stick the Dole Whip right in my arm, it'd be fine.
And then you got to get a Mickey's Kitchen sink to end the day.
I've never had that. I hear that's a go. I mean, if you're a Disney ice cream fan, I guess that's the way to go.
I got to try
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I got to try the kitchen sink, and I haven't done it yet over at Beaches and Cream at the one hotel by Epcot. What's it called? Not the Boardwalk, the other one over there, Beach Club.
Yeah. I couldn't think of it.
I haven't tried that yet.
I don't call you Bill Sr. and I don't call you Bill Jr. I call you both Bill, but I'm freaking out a little bit. But I'm just going to ask questions and we'll just see who answers it. How about that? We'll just go with that.
Just say junior or senior. There you go.
Okay, junior, senior. That's what we'll do for the night. David A. in the house, what's going on? Appreciate being here. If I missed you in chat, it's because I'm talking to my buddies here. We're going to have a good time. We're going to be here for the hour. Again, Creator Talk Live goes on at 9:30 my time, 10:30 Eastern time. So after the show, we'll go for about an hour. There'll be a little bit of break. We're talking about TikTok and, the government might be taken away, and we'll talk about some other stuff too. So that'll be fun, but that's later with me and Lynn. Bill Jr., so when did you become a Disney fan? And did you become a Disney fan like my kids did because me and their mama were Disney nuts? Did your dad bring you up right, or how did that go?
Yeah, I was pretty much born into it. I remember going down to Disney when I was really young, like 5 or 6, and staying at Fort Wilderness Lodge, and then, just falling in love with it from there. It was a great experience. Like, the first time you walk up to the entrance to the Magic Kingdom when you're a little kid, the jaw-dropping experience you get from it. And I've been in love with it ever since. I haven't been since I joined the Army, actually, so I haven't been in almost 10 years now. I'm looking forward to getting back, but with my schedule, it's kind of tough to get around to it, but we'll see. I love coming on here and just talking about it. It's a lot of fun, and then keeping up with all the new things coming out with Disney, and it's great.
I love it. And Bill Sr., you became a Disney fan, before Bill Jr. was a thing, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I took my first trip when I was a kid. I-95 wasn't even completed yet. It was in March of 70. I think it was March of 72. Disney wasn't open that long, and we took a friend of mine down with us from that lived up the street. And if my parents didn't kill me on that trip, they never will. 2 kids in the back, 2 5th or 6th graders in the back seat arguing the whole way down and back.
That's awesome. We lived in San Diego, and we did a bunch of me and some of my buddy and my sister and one of her buddies to Disneyland trips too. 71 was when Disney World opened, if I remember. So you were there.
Yeah, October.
That's awesome. So Disneyland opened in 55. And I've told this, people who know my channel, they know this pretty well. My mom and my grandpa has a whole story there, but my mom used to go there. She was definitely there year 1, but whatever, you were there year 2. What's the biggest change that you would say? I mean, you were there before your son was even alive yet. What was the biggest change?
I was in 72. I was 9, almost 10 years old. It's changed a lot since then.
Sure.
It's changed a lot, and it hasn't changed a lot. That's the neat thing. I don't know. Some of the rides obviously have changed over the years, and that's probably the biggest thing. Some of the rides that they changed, and luckily my favorites are still there. The Tiki Room that was probably my favorite on that first trip. I really loved the Tiki Room, and then after that, it was the Pirates of the Caribbean
Yes.
and the Haunted Mansion.
Well, that's a great segue to your. I was going to ask you anyway. So, favorite rides at the Magic Kingdom you just mentioned. What about favorite rides now in other parks? And then I'll ask Bill Jr. the same question here in a minute.
Yeah, my favorite rides have changed over the years because I've had vertigo real bad 3 times. So I can't go to Disney without wearing the patch if I want to ride any of the roller coasters. Especially, I love the roller coaster in Hollywood Studios, but I definitely got to be wearing the patch for that.
The rock and roll.
Be an ugly, yeah. It's going to be an ugly afternoon if not.
I can see. I mean, I've never had vertigo, and that looks like a lot of no fun. But that would be the place to get it right there, man. That.
Yeah, no, I had it. Just got it. The third time I had it for about 4 to 6 weeks, and I felt like I had a bad hangover for that time.
Well, I mean, we're baseball nuts, all three of us. Nick Asaski.
Yeah,
in his career. Wayback Machine, 84 Tops rookie card. Go back, people. Bill Jr. favorite. I think 84 Tops. No, I'm not even sure.
Wrong show, Jeff.
I know, wrong show, right? Wrong show. Bush League Baseball every Tuesday night on. We're not sure what channel, but we'll figure it out after the show. Bill Jr., favorite park, favorite rides? Tell me.
Oh, my favorite park? That's a toss-up between Magic Kingdom and MGM, Hollywood.
MGM, I've heard of that. What's that?
Yeah. I'm kicking it old school here, but yeah, I mean, just both of the different dynamics. Like, I love how they can completely transform a swamp in the middle of Florida into whatever they want, and you feel like you're there entirely. And then even break it down even further, sections in the park, it makes you feel like you're somewhere completely different as soon as you walk in. So favorite ride, Magic Kingdom, got to go with Pirates of the Caribbean. Just the smell as soon as you walk in, you're just entering in, you smell that water and you can hear all the different sounds going on, and it's just a classic. And then going over to MGM or Hollywood Studios, it's got to be Rock and Roller Coaster. When they first put that in, I went down there not long after they first put that in, and it was incredible. Just like the whole walking through the queue for the ride, coming down, and then it locks you into the limousine, and you slide back and you take off like you're on an aircraft carrier. It was
pretty cool.
It was awesome. My dad doesn't like that one too much.
I remember thinking it sounded dumb. I wasn't excited about it. I went on it because we were there, and all right, they want to ride it, I'll ride it. I love it. So fun. So much better than I expected. I don't know why. Back to Pirates of the Caribbean and Disney. They build on a swamp. They take out the swamp. They put in a fake swamp. They put in a ride, Pirates of the Caribbean, that has a swamp. Where are the mosquitoes? How do you get rid of mosquitoes? But I love it. It's the best. I love what you said there. They transport it away. Favorite movie, or stay with Bill Jr., favorite Disney movie, old school and recent, and most importantly, why?
Oh, favorite old school Disney movie, probably 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Oh,
I actually just watched that for the first time fairly recently, maybe about 8 months ago when, actually November when Disney Plus came online. And I watched it. I kind of caught up with, a bunch of old movies, Escape to Witch Mountain. And
I already like you, but you are getting all the points tonight. Man, that is good stuff. I kind of had a crush.
I'll see you guys later.
Yeah, right. I think when I'm like 4, she's probably my first crush. I don't know her name, but I'm picturing her. Little 9-year-old, whatever her name was in the 70s version.
Jodie Foster, wasn't it?
No.
Was Jodie Foster in that? That wasn't her?
No, but I mean, I can see no, it's a little girl. I don't know. Now the 50-year-old guy is being creepy. But when I was 4, it was sweet. All right. So Bill, I need a recent one. Bill Jr.
Oh, recent one? Probably the new Aladdin. I'd have to go with that. I thought they did a great job remaking it. I thought Will Smith actually did a really good job playing.
So, I told you about 4-year-old crush. 49-year-old crush, it might be on the live action Aladdin. She worked for me.
It just turned out to be a great movie. I actually didn't have a lot of high hopes for it coming in. I was like, oh, they're gonna ruin, Robin Williams' legacy with it, and they really didn't. They did an outstanding job.
Totally agree. Bill Sr.
One thing I wanted to answer, I don't think I did. My favorite park is actually Epcot, and I love the World Showcase. That's my favorite. The World Showcase. The food. I usually can't get past visiting Carl, the bartender at the Rose and Crown. I always tease him, tell him he's my favorite Disney character. and then once I leave there, and I always get Bill with this, sending the pictures, I go over to Japan and get some sake and get a little beer. And sometimes I'll eat lunch and dinner at Teppanyaki, and I love it so much.
Never eaten there. Everybody loves it.
Oh, I love it. It's like Benihana. The only thing that I don't like is you can't get fried rice there.
I love fried. You can't get fried rice.
It's too much time. They want to get you in and out.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. The best fried rice, I love it. It's even at the walk-up. It's the one in India. Oh my gosh, my brain just went away. Yak and Yeti. You can even get the good fried rice at the walk-up. So good. Downscale ICU. Jeff is crushing on Will Smith. I mean, maybe his YouTube channel success.
As far as movies, old movies, I have two.
Okay.
Number one is the original The Jungle Book, because that was the first movie I ever saw in the movie theater when it first run movie. I believe it was like 68 or 67, somewhere around there.
You even remember the first one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the first movie I ever saw. And when I was a kid, I was a big fan of the Kurt Russell movies, The Computer Who Wore Tennis Shoes, and
is that even a real thing? I'm not sure if I really believe that.
Matter of fact, that was the first movie I watched when Disney Plus came out. I searched it and I couldn't believe it was on there. And that was the first movie I watched, The Computer Who Wore Tennis Shoes.
To prove that we have a lot in common, and I've admitted this before, but I feel like it's an admission, not something to brag about. The first movie I saw on Disney, the first thing I watched on Disney Plus, and I probably watched it 3 times in the first 20 things I watched, Swiss Family Robinson.
Yeah, that was a good one too when I was a kid.
Makes me feel like an old guy, I'm not gonna lie, but hey, I guess it's time to
now do yourself a favor, do a search on it, and there's an original Swiss Family Robinson that came out in the 1940s. The original.
I'm aware of that. I haven't watched it. My TV won't let me watch black and white thing. I'm just kidding. I don't know. I've never seen that one. Someday. Now I am going to switch over. We have about 16 minutes in, so I wanted to get in about a quarter of the way before I start talking about. Oh, I should have. Oh yeah, here we go.
Just real quick. My favorite new movie is the two Frozens.
Oh yeah.
And if anybody hasn't seen it on Disney Plus, there's like a 7-episode series on the making of Frozen 2. And it's really, really good.
So for the first 15, 20 minutes on Frozen, I'm pretty sure they were on meth. What the heck was that all about? Frozen 2 fan. I mean, am I crazy? What are we doing? Little nuts, right? I'm not.
Yeah, it was a little at first, but it wound up being a really good movie.
I agree. I think like a few of the more recent ones, the more I watch them, the more I like them. So that's a good thing. Mr. Beast Mode. Tell me the Trout story. Why am I wearing this hat?
Oh, the old Mike Trout, Trout in a can hat there. Yeah, I played ball with Mike Trout, either with him or against him for about 4 or 5 years going up. Actually, a little longer than that, since we were about 10. We either played with or against each other until he graduated high school in 2009, and we all know how that ended up. But yeah, he was a great ball player, even better guy.
It's just too bad he didn't make any money in his career,
Yeah, I know. Mahomes put him in the game.
But Bill still got something on him in high school, though. Bill's the only player to turn a double play on.
I was trying to figure out a way to get there. So there you go. That's pretty good.
Yeah, he had a better time from home to first base than Mickey Mantle did. So it's pretty impressive to say we turned a double play on him. In high school, he had a better home the first time.
Out of the box? I mean, I want to know that. We won't stay on baseball very long, but I want to hear the story. Did he slip coming out of the box, or my wife?
No. So he hit an absolute missile one-hopper to our second baseman. I sprinted as fast as I could. I was at short.
Okay.
He threw it to me as hard as he could, perfectly, right here. I turned it, didn't even look, and threw it as hard as I could, and almost fell down. And when I looked up, I beat him by a half a step.
I mean, the dude in Major League Baseball making $40,000 million a year sprints on everything. I'm guessing back in high school he wasn't lagging.
Well, he hit fly balls to center field, and he'd be almost to third base when the center fielder would catch it. It was unbelievable.
If you're playing that game that way in major leagues, I believe it. Hey, Brittany Morgan, what's going on? Hey, Isaac Neal, what's going on? Andrea Houston in the house, what's going on? LSU mom, James Ryan, all you guys who are here, my mods, members of the channel, friends, people I've never seen in my whole life. I love you all for being here. Thanks so much. This is Magic of the Mouse TV on YouTube, Magic of the Mouse, the podcast on podcast places. I've been dropping the link. They are in the description below. You can also just see it in the chat here. I'll drop again, this is for Spotify. You can go anywhere that podcasts are to grab them.
Yeah, we're on just about all of them. We haven't done an episode recently. I alluded to it a little earlier. When we switched over to the website to do the podcast, we did it at the wrong time when everybody was home because of the pandemic, and the internet was absolutely horrible. And I'm kind of a perfectionist, you could call it. Yeah, it drives me crazy. The sound was driving me up the wall, and I just told Bill, we got to take a time out because my laptop almost went out the window one day. I couldn't take it no more. There was not one episode that I did. I forget which episode it was.
You told me with Lynn you were going to throw your thing through the roof.
Well, we wound up having to tape with Lynn twice because I had to throw about the first time we talked to her, we probably talked for about an hour and 25 minutes. And when I got done editing, it was down to about 15. That's how bad the audio was.
Well, I was going to try to ask the story. So Mr. Orlando guy is in the chat. Ms. Project is in the chat. I hear a rumor.
Let me get an update.
What's that?
Let me get an update while you're talking.
Yeah. I hear a rumor that they think their episode of your show when they were the guest is the most listened to. But I have some insider information that they're both lying liars. Why don't you let us know?
All right. Let me go ahead and talk there, and I'll let you know in a second.
Go ahead and talk there. I like that. So I'll talk right now. So me and Bill Sr. have a lot, well, both of us, but all three of us, but we have a lot in common, me and Bill Sr. especially. One thing that we are exactly the opposite of, he's a perfectionist, and I am whatever the vast opposite of perfection, whatever that is. Is there an opposite of that? I think it's an I don't care.
Yeah, I could attest to that. When we do the Bush League baseball, if we go on at 10 o'clock, I'm ready at 9. Jeff, about 8 or about 9:58, 45. Okay, I'm ready for the link.
What time did it start?
10.
What are we doing before 10 then? I don't understand.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, no, it's not even that. I remember my favorite. If we just had a behind the scenes, Bill Jr., tell me, am I telling the truth? If we had a behind the scenes of your dad's faces and hand gestures when the things weren't going right, would we go viral? I'm pretty sure the answer is yes.
Oh, the blooper reel would be longer and probably more entertaining than the actual stuff we're putting up. It's hilarious.
I'd make a zip slip look like Mary Poppins.
So Orlando guy already making excuses. Remember that Jeff had 2 episodes.
Yep. All right. Well, the one episode that Jeff was on, it was the first one. You're ahead of Lynn by 1.
But does it count when Lynn listens all day long every day? I mean, I know that's what she's doing.
And sorry, Orlando guy, but you're now in 4th place.
I'm sorry about it too.
Our episode with Josh talking to Disney, the Secret Society. Yep, he's in 2nd. I'm sorry, he's in 3rd.
I don't have a mic, but I've got a
mic can drop.
You're welcome. So you need to go listen to, mine at least. I don't know about that. I hear that the Lynn Project is worth listening to. I am sure I should have had my coffee cup. I am sure the Orlando guys is worth listening to. But if you don't listen to mine, I will come to your house. So go listen to the episode. All 3 of them. Actually, that's 4 episodes. But it was a lot of fun. I remember being so I'm listening when you sent me the link when it went live. That I don't know when it was, a long time ago. Whatever night it was, and I was going to my church to pick up my daughter at some church event, and it's on in the car. I'm listening to it on the way, just me, because I want to see how it sounds. And it's only my 2nd time I was on a podcast or whatever. And so I get back in the car, I get the kid, and I'm just driving now. And I forgot, I was going to turn on the radio for her, and it's me and you guys talking. And she's like, "What the heck is this?" And she was freaking out. And I don't know. I don't think she enjoyed it as much as we did. But it's a lot of fun. You guys really have a pro level production stuff. I mean, I want to ask you about that. If you haven't listened to their podcast, go check it out. Bunch of their
don't base it on listening to some of the old episodes of the podcast. We've definitely got it straightened out now.
I think they're pretty good. Whatever.
Yeah. Well, as far as audio quality from time to time, and like I said, I'm a perfectionist, and it drove me up the wall.
That must suck. I would hate that so much.
Yeah, can't change it now.
So, Bill Jr., you played baseball, right?
Yeah, I played baseball until I was like 23.
You were very good, yes?
Yeah, I'd say I was pretty good.
Your best
scouts followed him.
Your best season ever. Did you get a hit half the time?
Almost.
I mean, I hit 400 my senior year. That was pretty good. And
my senior year, I think I hit like 450. My senior year, I hit 450 and had 1 strikeout.
Did you? I had 1 strikeout too. It was my last at bat. That's the whole conversation. Oh, you're getting me all fired up. But my point is, you can be really good at something and not be perfect, right? Bill Sr., are you listening? Bill Jr., is that Ken?
Well, I mean, yeah, you fail 7 out of 10 times, you're still going to make the Hall of Fame.
Right? Well, I mean, if they let me play. But yeah, anyway.
That's true.
Love it. Yep, being a perfectionist is draining, right? I don't understand. I am whatever the opposite is. I'm not that, but whatever. But I love him. I love him for doing it. I want a rematch between me and Jeff. We should do that. I like it. Well, when you guys get back up and running, the Orlando guy is trying to get back on the show, and I'll come back.
We're set up now. The podcast board that I was using, like I said, I sold it, and we were recording online. And once we go back, we're going to record online because the internet's definitely getting better now. There's not 10 billion people on it daily.
The first month or 6 weeks after everybody staying home, it was nuts. But
and now I got a really good audio set up, and I think it is almost Orlando guy seal of approval for it. But got a few tweaks to make on it.
Nice.
So hopefully we get back into it soon. Start doing some episodes again here real soon.
Well, let's get back to Disney. So when you guys stay there, Jersey, Texas, so you're obviously heading in. Where do you guys like to stay? Place that you've been to that you like to stay the most, and some place that you haven't stayed that you want to stay at. Who wants to go first?
Go ahead, Bill.
So the place that I've stayed at before that I love the most has got to be Fort Wilderness Lodge and the campground. I stayed at both. It's just like the two different aspects of it, and it was awesome. Yeah, it really was. Like when I was a kid, that was the first place I ever stayed at. So that's like the lasting impression in my my memories. And then the campground there was actually a lot of fun as well. So it was great. Place that I really want to stay at. I never stayed at Old Key West. I went there once, but I never stayed there. I really want to check that out.
That's on our list. The next trip we've got in October, I guess. So hopefully we get to go. Senior?
Yeah. Well, I'm a DVC member, and Bill's talking about the time that he was at Old Key West is when we went on the trip when he was 5. I was going to buy the vacation club then. That's when it first started. And I'm still mad to this day that I didn't buy it because it's the best money I ever spent. But I'm a owner at Saratoga Springs. But I have to say, I more than not try to book at Old Key West. I just love Old Key West. Number one, if
right
you get
next door, right? Isn't it right next door?
Well, yeah, within a 5-minute boat ride. They're pretty close. My favorite thing there is it's the original one, and if you get a 1-bedroom, the rooms are so much bigger than any other 1-bedroom.
Yeah. Well, because you just said it was the first one, right?
Yeah, and that's my favorite. I've stayed. The Wilderness Lodge is nice. I've stayed at Saratoga, the Boardwalk. They're all nice. I've even stayed at the All-Star and those places. They're still. I like them too.
Yeah, my story on All-Star is it got me to be DVC because my wife and my daughter were like over all the people. But if you want to go to DVC, what you do is you take your wife during some kind of sports tournament. All the kids drive your wife crazy. She signs up for DVC, and we end up going to All-Star anyway. So it's kind of a win-win. I like them all. I don't even care. I want to do them all. Apollo's my favorite, but Saratoga, you mentioned it was your home. We stayed there for our first year. Loved it. Wanted to spend more time there and didn't get to. That's how much we liked it, and we didn't expect to love it. It was really cool.
Well, me and Bill, we played the golf course there and all Lake Buena Vista course there, and that's real nice. And there's anything at Disney is nice. The one that I really want to stay at isn't DVC. I want to stay at the Art of Animation. That one looks like one that I would really like.
Nice.
And of course, the two, the Jumbo House and the other name of the one is slipping me here, but they're real nice hotels over there also. Kidani Village is the other one. Yeah, they're both nice.
Yeah, my wife wants to stay there bad. Speaking of my wife, so she knows I have a show right now, right? Like I would hope. And so she's texting me, which makes me think, oh my gosh, something bad happened. But no, this is how awesome she is. She's showing me cookies that are, pineapple whip flavor.
Oh, Dole Whip cookies.
I would marry her again. That is perfection. Right? That's why my abs are so hard to find, but I'll let her know. All right. So
Lynn's on point there with that comment. I just noticed that. I was talking.
Make sure you guys hit the thumbs up. I totally agree. You should totally do that. Thanks for pointing that out. Bill Jr., what's something about Bill Sr., about Disney that that you want the people that were listening in to know?
Okay, well, I wasn't there. I wasn't even a thought yet.
I saw your face when I asked you. I saw your face. Okay, I want to hear this.
I wasn't even a thought or a twinkle in my dad's eye yet, but he went down to Disney, one of his buddies, and they ended up underneath Disney. Don't know how they got there, and they ended up in the brig, and they had to call my grandfather to come get them. You tell the story, Dad. It's a little bit better.
I fear getting kicked out of Disney more than going to jail, so I'm very much listening to this.
We had just got there, Like I said, it was the ride from hell down from New Jersey. It was my first trip, and we're staying at the Contemporary. We're staying at not where the Bay Lake Tower is now, but the other wing that's still there. That's
Okay.
what we stayed in, that wing. And we had just checked in, and when my mom and dad were checking in, we saw a game room. So my dad went back to they went back to the room. My dad gave us a couple dollars to play some video games, pinball machines back then. So we ran out of money and we took a walk. Well, there was a back gate open next to Space Mountain. Well, we walked in and we're like, "Oh, there's nobody around. Let's check this place out. We'll get the heads up for tomorrow, our first time in here, and we'll know where to go."
We're walking this video on YouTube. This doesn't end well.
Yeah, we're walking around the speedway, not around it. We're actually walking literally around the speedway on the track.
No way.
And got arrested by Disney security.
I mean, I'm guessing they've got people there.
Yeah, but I got to go to the Disney security office above Main Street. That was pretty cool. About where the old bakery or the what is it now? It's not the coffee place.
I mean, I know it's a different time, but I would just say, well, I mean, if you're going to arrest me, can I video behind the scenes? Because I want to
have them back then.
That is awesome. Alana Zingano in the house. What's going on? Stacey Rogers also in the house. How are you? Glad to see you guys here. That's a pretty cool story. Like, I've never been arrested in general, but I definitely haven't been arrested at Disneyland.
Then they called my dad. They called the room, and my dad answered, and I knew didn't even have to know what he said. And Disney security brought us back to met my dad downstairs at the.
I hear Mickey and Goofy rough you up like in the casinos. I hear.
No, I wasn't worried about Mickey and Goofy. All I know is my dad was threatening to pack the car and drive back to Jersey that night before we got in the park.
It's like the soup Nazi. No Mickey for you.
I became a police officer. Go figure.
Because you figured, hey, I'd rather be the guy hauling them. Okay, there's something there. Hey, Pete, you were awesome tonight. I didn't get to say for the end. Obviously, I always miss the very, very end. But the first 45 minutes was epic. You and Zip, that was a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you didn't, go watch the replay. Pete McDevitt, easy for me to say, precedes this show every week, and I think we've got a Muppet thing coming up next Sunday. I will be promoting all week long on my show, but that's a whole nother thing. Let's flip the switch now. What we got? Bill Sr. We got a Bill Jr. When he was little, he did this. I mean, any Disney, maybe he loved A Princess too much. What can we know about Bill Jr., Mr. Bill Sr.?
Well, when the VHSs started coming out, at one time, everyone that came, he had every Disney movie there was that you can think of. I don't even know some of the names. And that turned him into.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You talked about the computer with shoes or some dang thing.
No, he had like some of the obscure Disney, like everyone that came out, he literally had them all. And he turned into the movie buff. I mean, there's many movies that you watch with him. It gets aggravated at times because he's speaking them word for word. He knows every word in the movie.
I love it. My sister did that with Coming to America, which I never hated it. I still kind of love. Not Disney, I know, but whatever. Good.
Now, I could tell a story about Bill, but it's not Disney related. But
I mean, we're here.
Well, when he was very little, he had got his mother a basket at Christmas time. What's Bath and Body Works. Well, I was off during the day because I was working night shift, and his mother was working. And I was in the bathroom, and I come out of the bathroom, and he's in a diaper in the middle of the den floor, and he's drenched. He's just drenched. Every bottle of oil out of that basket, he poured it over his head. And I'm like, what in the are you doing? He says, I just wanted to get smooth, Dad, he said. Well, that's not the top. The topper of it was he had the remote. He said, Dad, look what I got you. He got the remote. Don't tell me how he found it, but he knew what it was just because of the little, like you got the Dole Whip in the top there, the little icon. He got me the Bunny channel. He's got the Playboy channel on. How he found it, I have no idea, but he was all excited that he got me the Bunny channel, and he got
definitely
smooth.
all excited. I understand. And he was in diapers?
He was in diapers, yeah. He could barely. He was just talking. He was about 15 months, a year and a half, if that.
I liked girls not that early. No, that's pretty terrifying, actually.
I don't even remember this.
I would think not.
Come on now. He just wanted to get smooth.
I just want to get smooth. I still want to get smooth. It hasn't worked out yet. Good stuff. All right, I just dropped the link. Podcast is there. Again, I'm dropping the Spotify link, but you can go catch it anywhere you want. Magic Mouse TV is the YouTube channel. Give them some love. Check it out. It's awesome. They're a lot of fun. We went down. Nope, I was down in Walt Disney World, and you came down from Jersey with a buddy, and we got to hang out We had some Dole Whip with a lot of Disney YouTubers, actually. We went on Jungle Cruise together, Bill Sr., and then we got off of Jungle Cruise, and I feel like it was like a YouTube Disney convention.
Yeah, there was a lot of people there.
Yeah, what's your favorite memory of that? I feel like we we condensed it a lot. You had to go. I don't remember when you had to leave, but you weren't staying too long. But it was a good time. What's your
that was in February, right before all this craziness hit.
Yeah,
it was like the third week of February. That was my 1-day trip. Me and a buddy I grew up with. He's a Disney nut too, and we flew down. We flew out at 6 o'clock in the morning and got home that night at midnight. We flew down just for the day. And we were supposed to meet Jeff and Lynn, but Lynn dissed us. She didn't show up at.
I got to see Lynn. You had to leave early. I got to meet up with Lynn later that day. And,
well, she was waiting. She was texting you. Let us know when he leaves, and then we'll meet you at the Magic Kingdom.
She was getting ready for a 10K, 5K, 10, whatever the run.
Yeah, her first race down there. Yeah. She was over at Wide World of Sports.
So after you left, we met up with Lynn, and we also got to meet Nick and Sam. So that was Samantha Lowe and Nick from Magical News Live. Yeah, it was a whole thing. But when we jumped off of, I have 2 getting off the Jungle Cruise stories that were pretty fun, and you're part of one of them. When I was younger, when I was first with, I guess it was with Paula. Maybe it was even before Paula. Paula's my wife, if you don't know. We get off, or we're getting on, we're getting on the Jungle Cruise, and they said, hey, wait. And you guys remember Joey Lawrence, the whoa guy?
Yeah.
Him and some super smoking, would have been an Instagram model today, got their whole dang Jungle Cruise right before us, and they got to come off there anyway. And then my other story is we're getting off the Jungle Cruise, and all the Disney YouTubers were there. I bet a couple people in the chat were there. That was a lot of fun. Got a lot of cool pictures. Bill, Corner Sports says, has anyone ever told you, this is for Bill Sr., that you look like Jerry Remy, the Sox second baseman and broadcaster? Yeah,
maybe it's the mustache.
Maybe. I remember him.
Yep.
He used to beat the Angels a lot. Speaking of Trout a little bit. Disney, baseball, which one do you love more? Let's go with Bill Jr. first.
It's got to be baseball, just because of my intense passion with it. That's all I did. I was talking to my wife about it probably yesterday, and she said something like, "Did you ever watch Christmas in July marathons?" I'm like, I was never at the house. I was always at some tournament or out playing somewhere, either Delaware, Pennsylvania, Northern New Jersey. I was always gone. I'd play 16 games in 2 weeks. So constantly just playing baseball, and then went to college for it, and then kept playing even after school, in a summer baseball league back in New Jersey. So it would slim margin, but it's got to be baseball over Disney for me.
When I was your age, I would have said the same thing, and for the same reason, it was that and other sports were everything to me for a while. But as I got older, I got farther and farther away from being able to play. I coached for years, blah 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 blah. And now that I've got daughters, it's more Disney, but I totally can relate to that. Bill Sr., what about you? And I'm going to use this as a segue to, you've got some baseball photography, LinkedIn profile lines that I certainly don't have.
I'd say it's 1A and 1B for me. It's probably baseball and Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've always, there's other sports, and then there's baseball.
One of the worst days ever was this year. They closed down baseball and Disney on the same day.
Yeah.
Day. But I was using that to do a segue. You, Bill Sr., have taken pictures that were published in Sports Illustrated. Is that true?
Yeah. After I was in an auto accident on duty in the police department, I had to have a single fusion in my neck and a double in my lower back. So I was, wasn't laid up, but it was about a year and a half healing up from my surgeries and all. And I taught myself photography, and I wound up working for a couple local newspapers in the South Jersey area. The Atlantic City paper was the one. And I started getting some good pictures for covering some high school sports and, some of Bill's stuff. And I wound up sending it into a few places like stock agencies. And I wound up doing a bunch of Phillies games every year for them and Rutgers football. And one thing led to another. And I wound up down in Fort Myers. I was going down on vacation, and I told them, I said, see if you can get me a pass. I'll do some of the games down there for you. Well, that turned into, I got friendly with the Minnesota Twins guys because I was doing a lot of their games, and I wound up working for the Minnesota Twins. Not working for, I was a freelancer for them for about 5 years. That's
awesome. I remember.
Yeah, I loved it.
When you first get to know somebody, and people tell you what they know, what they're into, and all of a sudden you dropped, at some point, photos for Sports Illustrated. I'm like, when you think of sports photography, Sports Illustrated is the top of the top of the top. and you've got photos in Sports Illustrated. That's kind of a big deal. I mean, I don't know. For me, that's a big deal. I love that. I'm amazed by that. Did you get to meet Kathy Ireland? That's really what I want.
No, didn't get to meet her. Got to meet a lot of Hall of Famers though.
Nice.
Especially down in spring
talked
training.
about Rod Carew a few times.
I love Rod Carew. I love talking to him in the dugout. He's great. I'm going to try and find the one picture. If you got a question for Bill there, I'm going to try and find the one that made me the most money in Sports Illustrated.
Love it. Well, I do. I have a billion questions. Bill Sr., what picture is he looking for? No, I'm just kidding. So we're doing podcasts together. We're doing the baseball podcast. We're doing the Disney podcast. Where do you see them going? If you could get whatever you want out of it, where would it go for you and for the podcasts?
I just honestly want to keep doing it and want to keep growing. Like the more followers we get, the more listeners we get every week, the better it is and the better content we'll be able to provide. And now that Disney's picking back up slowly, and the NBA is going to have their playoffs down in Disney. That's a big thing. So I can definitely see a show popping up really soon about us talking about that. And they're having parties I think they're in the Grand Floridian and a couple other places, and they're just NBA players are having massive parties out in the balconies. And I honestly just want to keep doing what we're doing. And if it grows, it grows. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's a lot of fun. I'm learning a lot. I got this new Go XLR. I don't even know what to call it. Switchboard, I guess. Little sound amp, mix amp here, and got this nice little boom mic my dad sent me down. So I'm learning a lot through him.
These two know gear. Like, I remember early on and getting to know your dad, as he's still looking for the photo over there. He would talk to me about audio gear and video gear as if I had a clue one about what he was talking about. It is like he's up here on these things. I'm like, dude, I try to make, if I can hit the play button and it works, I'm a happy guy. That's like when he says, well, I got to be here 20 minutes early. That's what I do. But he knows his gear, does he not?
Yeah, he's really good with that. And he did stuff with that in the police department with like
I bet
reconnaissance type stuff. That's what led him in the photography. And then he's taken a ton of incredible pictures at all around Disney, and they're all on our Facebook page. A lot of great stuff. He tries to put up one a day. He's doing a lot more now, but just the amount of knowledge he has with this audio and photography as well is incredible. Like,
I know. Like,
I was the same as you. He would mention some of the stuff that he's got, and I'm like, yeah, that sounds great. Cool. Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Caitlin, I think I'll just ask Bill Jr. Is Caitlin wrong when she says, sorry, the Cubs are the best?
No, I love every team except for the Yankees. Like, I'm cool with every single other club except for the Yankees. And it hasn't been as bad lately, but I can see it starting to get that way again with Stanton and Judge leading the charge here really soon. So
everybody else, that entire lineup drives me crazy.
Yeah.
I figured it would be so tough, the Atlanta guy. Somebody said, so for such bright girl, it appears I have my work cut out for me. Talking to you, Caitlin. I love that, James. Yeah, I'm sorry. Cubs aren't the Dodgers, so no. I sense you didn't find it, Mr. Perfectionist.
No. I got thousands of pictures, and trying to find it when you need to find it, forget it.
That's all
right. But anyway, it was a picture of a Phillies player sliding into second base, and the St. Louis Cardinals shortstop was completely up in the air with his legs spread out, and it was a half a page in Sports Illustrated.
How did you get so good at taking sports photos? Because that is not an easy thing.
Yeah, the papers would send me out to do news stuff, and I mean, I wanted no part of doing. I didn't even know what I was doing shooting that. And it's a little easier today with the cameras, with the 11 frames a second. You just hold the button down, and the biggest thing is setting the camera up to make sure you get the proper focus and all like that. But it was sports, and I practiced them mostly on a lot of his games. And when they went to Cooperstown with Mike Trout, when it's on the team, when they went up there, I took a bunch of pictures that week. And each player on the team, when they had the party back at Mike Trout's parents' house, I gave all the players on the team a DVD of all the pictures from the week.
Oh, that's so cool.
So they all got a DVD of all the photos.
That's
how I learned there, and you just keep practicing. And like I said, I got to be a perfectionist, and I bought books, and I was online. And YouTube really wasn't a thing then, but there was, you could research a lot and find out. I wound up, biggest thing that helped me learn, there's a a website, and it's all sports photographers throughout the country, and it's called sportshooter.com. And I was a member of that, and I learned a lot from there. There's all USA Today, Sports Illustrated, but photography's a lot of them, Sports Illustrated, I believe they might only have one staff photographer now. They've all cut back and they use stock agencies.
Back in the day, though, they were the top of the top with sports photography. Eos Jr., was it Walter? I don't even know how to pronounce his name. Walter Eos Jr., is that a name you know? He's the popular sports photography guy. Dave Houston, you are never late. I appreciate you being here, buddy.
I even came out to your neck of the woods. You were probably still living in California then. I did a sports photography, that Sports Shooter every year. They put on an academy, and I did one. It was in, I guess it's Orange County, not far from the John Wayne Airport in that area, and it was right near Long Beach State.
Oh, sure. Long Beach, huge baseball program.
Now, who was the
baseball program?
I was there, and I was the night before, the player for the Angels got killed in an auto accident, and it was literally blocks from Long Beach State's baseball field. Was it Nick Aidenhart? Was that the player back then?
Lyman Bostock, if you want to go back.
No, it was
Aidenhart. Yeah,
it was Aidenhart. Yeah, that's the time I was out there, and it was literally, we drove to the field to do to photograph the game that day, and they still had the road closed investigating it from the night before.
Yeah, that's rough. There you go. So Orlando guy says Jared Poland, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, is a good YouTuber to learn about photography. I mean, Peter McKinnon, top of the top for YouTube, clearly a spectacular photographer.
Yeah, he's talking about the guy from Philadelphia. What's it? Fro Knows Photo or something like that. Yeah, he's pretty good. I watch him.
Big Dizzy Ben says Royals and Chiefs here. You know what? I'm not talking about the Chiefs. You can't make me. I'm not going to do it. Eve Myers, I don't even think they're in the house tonight, but whatever. I'm a Chargers fan, so I don't talk about the Chiefs for at least until we get to another Super Bowl, which might be a ways away.
Is there any way that,
go ahead.
There's just real quick, the one person in chat there, is there any way you can eject them out of chat? Mickey Hackinson, I think it is there. He's a Mets fan. We won't talk about that being Phillies fans here.
He's my favorite Jets fan, but I learned tonight he's a Mets fan too. To check out the podcast, there's the link again. Dropped it one more time. No, seriously, I love you guys being here. Thank you all for being here. My mods, people, members of the channel, just people who are checking us out for the first time. This is Magic the Mouse TV. They're the father-son team. Bill Jr., Bill Sr. It's weird to call him Bill Jr. and Bill Sr. I don't know why I have trouble with that. It's just Bill, and it's just Bill. But whatever. Senior and Junior when they're together. How did you guys do that growing up? Like when he was a kiddo, did you call him Junior? Did you call him Bill? Was it Billy? Was it William? I mean, how did that go, having a dad and a son with the same dang name? It's driving me crazy.
Well, my dad's the same name also, but everybody always calls him. They all call him Will. He's okay. I'm not obviously I'm not a junior. But yeah, Bill was Billy, and I was just Bill.
I guess Bill. I mean, Bill, Will, William, Billy. Yeah. There's a bunch of versions of it, so I guess that worked. Bill Jr., what did you like best when you were a kiddo?
Billy, just because of the distinction between me and my dad. Somebody say, "Hey, Bill," and we both turn and look around.
Yeah.
And that way, I knew who was talking to me. Now that we're kind
of in a ballpark or something, when you guys are growing up, or you're growing up.
Yeah, exactly. Now I'm older now, and we're not around each other all the time, and we know family members who they're talking to because my grandmother still call me Billy on the phone, but I go by Bill now as well.
I love it.
If I wanted to get his attention, I didn't call him anything. I just gave him a smack in the back of the head.
All right. Bucket list Disney thing, and because I want to bucket list baseball thing. So what I mean is, like, I'd love to go to Club 33. What's a Disney thing, and and I'd love to be at Game 7 when the Dodgers won the World Series. What would be your bucket list Disney thing and bucket list baseball thing? Let's start with Junior.
Oh, bucket! I really want to see all the parks, like see a game at all the stadiums, and I've been to quite a few, actually. I've been out to Anaheim, seen the Angels play when Vlad was on there.
Beautiful park.
It was great park, great experience. He was doing long toss from foul pole to foul pole, and one of the coaches was tossing the ball back with a lacrosse net.
Dude's had a gun. I watched Ichiro do that in spring training once. I'm still blown away by it, but yeah, keep going. That's good.
Yeah, I've been there, been to Petco in San Diego.
Beautiful park.
Oh man, a whole bunch of other, obviously up and down the Northeast. Been to Old Yankee Stadium, not the new one yet, but that's kind of my bucket list for baseball. See a game at every single big league park. And then Disney wise, I want to go see the Disney's abroad. That's a big thing. Go to Paris, and that would be really cool to see how other cultures do Disney.
the Pirates section in Asia apparently is, well, is it Tokyo? I'm not even sure which one it is, to be honest with you.
Is that Disney
It's
Sea that's called Disney Sea, isn't it, or something
yeah,
like that?
I think so. Bill Sr., same question. Baseball and Disney bucket list.
I don't have many bucket list stuff with baseball because I've done a lot and I've seen a lot.
You just want the Phillies to have a winning season, I heard.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure they will this year. No doubt. They'll probably meet up at the Dodgers in the playoffs and beat them.
Man,
But
oh my gosh, I would love so much.
I've been to the World Series 3 times. I didn't see I wasn't at a World Series.
I need to know which ones. 1980, I'm guessing, is one.
No, 83. Yeah. No, wait a minute. 83.
80 you guys won, 83 you did not.
Yeah, I was we did a show on that. I was the kiss of death for that. I went down to Baltimore for game 2 after the Phillies won game 1, and then they didn't win another game. Well,
the Royals, right?
Yeah, I've been to the World Series 3 times, 2 World Series. I went to the one in 83 and 93. I was at 2 games, and I was at the clinching game against the Braves to get them to the World Series.
That's cool.
So I've seen a lot there. And like I said, with the photography, I've done a lot of, spring training was great. I got to talk to, Harmon Killebrew, Rod Carew, Tony Oliva. I mean, it don't get no better than that for a baseball nerd.
I mean, Minnesota Twins, Mount Rushmore right there.
Yep. And then as far as Disney is concerned, I'd probably like to eventually go to all the parks, but out of the 3, probably the one in Japan would be my number 1 to go to. I think from everything that I heard, I know Prince Charming Dev, another Disney creator, from seeing his videos and a couple other people's videos that have been there, that would probably be my number 1 to go there.
Now, I have to ask you, but going back to the Phillies, who do you dislike more, Mitch Williams or Gabe Kapler, and why?
Oh, it's not. I love Mitch Williams. I mean, you had to check your blood pressure every night, but I love Mitch Williams. Yeah, no doubt.
It's Joe Carter than Mitch Williams. Is that?
Oh yeah, I didn't mind that. I mean, he was one of them guys you lived or died with him. You never. He was like that. What was the movie there with Tom Hanks? It was like a box of chocolates. You never knew what you were going to get.
That's really the wild thing.
Yeah,
it was wild.
Yeah, I liked Mitch Williams. He was a great guy in Philadelphia, and but definitely Gabe Kapler.
I love that. Would you agree with your dad's assessment? I've watched you listen to him go off on Gabe Kapler. I'm guessing you would agree on his assessment there, Bill Jr.
Yeah, I agree 100%. When Mitch Williams was done with the Phillies in Major League Baseball, he actually coached a local independent league team in Atlantic City, and he was out there doing the same stuff. He would be throwing balls all over the thing, getting ejected, throwing chairs out onto the field. He was still a wild thing, that's for sure. It was great.
We actually talked about this. I don't know if it was on the baseball show or on our post show when we were just talking, but I hear that guy was hilarious. Everybody who knew him loved him, but like to twist the Phillies fan.
Probably don't. Just seeing something in chat here. My number 1 thing that I want to do in Disney World, I want to have the hamburger and a bourbon with the Orlando guy at the Edison.
Nice.
That I want to do.
Well, I've had the burger there. You got to get the hanging bacon too. It was amazing.
Oh, that's amazing.
The Edison was,
and they have a whiskey and bourbon list that's unbelievable at the Edison.
Sounds like a bucket list item for me. So we got like 5 more minutes left to go. What do you guys want them to know about you guys? I want to share something with them that they probably heard because of the stuff we've been talking about. But what do you want them to know about it before I ask a couple of questions at the end about you guys, about the channels, about the podcast, anything you want that I maybe didn't ask a question about before we come to the end tonight?
Well, the one thing, hopefully we'll get it started up in the not too distant future, but my bucket list for the podcast is have a whole episode where I don't have to edit it and the sound is like perfect. That's my bucket list. So that'll probably be
being a perfectionist.
Yeah, that'll probably be episode 499.
I believe you.
Yeah, that's probably never going to happen. It was like in Ford versus Ferrari, him looking for the perfect
right? Well, and then so he gets it all mixed, and then he buys what I don't know. He gets a new thing, and then I'm like, I don't know how to do any of it. Well, but it's all 100,000 things. I'm like, dude, you are gonna give yourself a heart attack. I'm telling you.
And the hardest thing I found was, as far as once we started the YouTube page, was video. I'm still photography. I knew nothing about video. And so that was a learning curve. And thank you to YouTube. Thanks to YouTube, I was able to, find different places and to learn different things. And it's still a work in progress. But the last one video that we did on that was Walt Disney's Florida project is turning 50.
That's a good one.
We found a bunch of old clips, and the biggest thing we found with that is I haven't been able to go to Disney. So, with Bill's schedule, we did a couple live streams on the channel, but with his schedule, and he was in school, and then he was back, and then he was in between units. So we hadn't really been able to do anything. So hopefully we'll be able to get to do that. But without having video of the parks, you're kind of limited.
Yeah.
It's either a live stream or, you have, video from the parks. And we did a couple of live streams from in the parks when I was down there. I guess it was in January. We did a couple of live streams.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember that. Before I ask you the same question, Bill Jr., Dave says, how about this for names? Talking about Bill and Bill. My father-in-law was Andrea, Italian for Andrew. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. My wife's name is Andrea. Our son's name is Andre, which you guys throw us off in chat sometimes. And his son's name is Andre. We call him by his middle name, Blake. Yeah. So I've got 2 grandkids right now that just popped out in about a week apart. And one's called Emmy and one's called Evie. I don't know which one's which. They're babies. So we're going with E. I don't even know what to call them. Like, I don't know which one's which. Their actual names are the same name. Their nicknames are the same name. I think they're just trying to confuse me and make me feel older. So, yeah, I guess it's a thing that families do, Bill and Bill.
Yeah, especially Italians from New Jersey, definitely.
Yeah. They're right. It's like Italian families. My family's very Italian. New Jersey, usually Italian, and they all have all the big families, and they all have pretty much 5 guys in the family. 3 of the names are the same every time. It is what it is. It's definitely my family.
Yeah, we got a weird family. I'm half Italian and half Irish on both sides, but the opposite. My mom's mom was right off the boat from Italy, from Sicily, in Messina in Sicily.
Sardinia.
And then my dad's side, his dad was Italian and the mother was Irish. So it was just the opposites. But yeah, but I do have a good connection though. My dad's mother's maiden name. We have a good connection to Irish whiskey, Powers Irish whiskey. They're somehow long ago distant relatives.
Nice. Anybody calls you Jameson, you understand. So I grew up thinking I was Italian. We do the, Ancestry.com or somebody's DNA, whatever. And it turns out I'm more English and Irish than that. So whatever. It is what it is. Bill Jr., same question that I asked Ken, I don't know, it was like a half hour ago now. Stuff you want them to know about you, about the channel, about anything you want that I didn't get to before we end the night, you want people to know about.
Yeah. So, I'm definitely looking forward to get back into the Magic of the Mouse podcast and just to have it back up and running again. Like my dad was saying, the internet's starting to get a little bit better. Our equipment's better. Our understanding of how to operate it is a little bit better. And we're definitely going to have a better product coming forward. And I'm really looking into starting to get into the video editing and production aspect of it. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but the Orlando guy's history of Orlando was out of this world. Like his many parts. Yeah. And it was just great. It felt like I was watching something directly from the History Channel, watching this. The way he did it was outstanding. If you haven't seen it, watch it. I hope to be half as good as that someday, but I'm slowly looking at different ways to get into the video editing and producing.
It's so fun, right? There's so many more tools nowadays. Like, what a great team to be alive, right? If you're into this kind of stuff, it's the best time ever to be able to tell a story, whatever story that is, whether you're talking about YouTube or, your XLR down there for audio or the cameras or the video. It's a pretty fascinating time. I love it. Bloom and Cheese, and how are you? Okay, my name is Richard Robert Bloom. My grandpa is Richard and Robert, and their grandpas are Robert and Richard. I'm out on that. I'm just calling them Grandpa 1 and Grandpa 2. That is, somebody bring Dr. Seuss into the names here. I appreciate everybody saying goodnight. So what I want to say before we go with like a minute and a half is, if you haven't already figured out, these guys are awesome. A lot of fun, a lot of Disney, a lot of baseball. That's right down my wheelhouse. But what I want to say that they probably won't is they both serve, man. He was an officer of the law. That's a fancy way of saying he was a cop. He is in the military. These guys are just awesome giving people. So give them some love. Get over to the podcast. Give that some love. Give it over to their YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to that. And I don't even know where we're going to have this baseball. I'm hoping it's going to be on the Bush League Baseball channel. It might be on my channel this week. I don't know. It'll be somewhere, and I'll put it on my Instagram. We're going to talk about it post-show here. But but whatever. It'll be somewhere on Tuesday nights. I actually still don't know if I'm going to be available on Tuesday night, but I think I am. I'm pretty sure I am, but we'll talk about it afterwards. But it'll be somewhere for sure. 99% this week or 100% next week. Baseball's around the corner. Disney's back. I'm excited about it. And if you haven't already, get to the podcast, hit follow, get to their channel, hit subscribe, and support them and give them some support.
Well, the podcast could get interesting towards the end of the year. Bill don't know yet, but he's supposed to do a third tour overseas. So we might be doing the podcast. Bill could be in downtown Baghdad when we doing a podcast episode.
I hear they need a Disney and a baseball team. So I'm just saying that might be, it'll be whatever he can do, and we would love it. So guys, I appreciate it. I'm seeing all kinds of nice comments. I appreciate every single one of them. Thank you. If you're new here, subscribe here and subscribe there. Magically Mouse TV on YouTube. Brittany Morgan, Dave Houston, Matt with the W Orlando guy. Everybody. I'm not going to get to everybody because I don't want to miss anybody. Love you all.
Love Dave. He's a Packers fan.
I still don't understand how you just give up on your team and move to there for Reggie White. We're going to have that talk one more time, but I do love me some Reggie White. So that's okay. But anyway, I appreciate you two. I appreciate everybody being here. 29 minutes from now, you don't have to go, and you can stay here right here on this channel with me and Lynn. We're talking Creator Talk Live. We just talk about growing. We don't talk about the XLR. We don't talk about all the detailed stuff because I don't know none of it. But we do talk about. We need to have one. I want one. They look cool.
We need to do a show of that on Creator Talk.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know any of it, but yeah. But anyway, it'll be a lot of fun. And we're actually talking about TikTok a little bit tonight. Is it going to be banned? Has it been banned? Can you even use it if you work at a certain couple companies? We'll talk about that tonight. It'll be fun. I think that's it for the night. I think I'll leave it to you guys. Anything you want to say before I say goodnight? Last chance?
No, just thanks for everybody for coming in tonight, and hopefully we'll have some new stuff for you soon.
Bill Jr.?
Yeah, same. Appreciate everybody for showing up, and it was a lot of fun talking about Disney and production of podcast, and then going into video a little bit, talking a little bit of baseball as well. It was a good night.
I had a blast. I knew it would go fast.
And this is the best. Mine and Bill, our audio is sound for a whole hour since we started all this stuff. We're getting there.
It sounded great. It always does. Just Life of Ours, June and Rachel, they're awesome. They're fun. The return, they went on a cruise. We scheduled them. They went on a cruise. What the heck, right? I'm jealous. That's my jealous face. But they're back next week. I'm excited about that. June and Rachel, This Life of Ours, Adults in Disney after that. And the great Mark Daniel. Ooh, I just changed that. The great Mark Daniel, you know him from Disney Channel and a bunch of other places. He'll be the first week in August. It's going to be a lot of fun. Simple Delicious, Magic the Mouse TV, Andrea Houston, Mikey says Boo Phillies. I love TikTok. Hasn't been banned yet. Well, got bad news for you, Caitlin. But we'll talk about that in a minute. Love you all. Have the best day ever. Go wash your hands. Be safe. You don't have to go, but you can't stay here. But you can stay here. Another show coming up. Have fun. Storm of the Castle. We need a tagline for our baseball show. What do you think?
Yeah, we definitely do. I'll have to start brainstorming here. We'll work some around in the group chat.
I like it. All right, that's it. Thanks, everybody. Go check out their channel, Magic the Mouse TV, Magic the Mouse the podcast. See ya. Bye, everybody.